2011 was a destructive year when it comes to natural disasters in the U.S. At least 12 disasters cost $1 billion or more. That's a record.
News 8's Pauline Lee joins us live in the studio with more.
Mark, those 12 disasters cost the U.S. $52 billion this year. None of the 12 happened in the La Crosse area, but that doesn't mean we haven't had our fair share of destruction. The tornado that hit La Crosse last May is one Jen Roberdeau will never forget.
I was just shocked. All the trees were gone. All the trees were tipped over. People's roofs were ripped off. Cars were picked up, overturned. So it was just, it looked like a disaster area.
Although the damage was devastating to the eye, cleaning up was even worse.
Probably lost $4,000 or $5,000 worth of furniture. We were in a small apartment, so we didn't have a lot of stuff, but we had to try to replace all that over the months following the tornado. And we did have renter's insurance, but it only covered partial damages and losses.
This year, the U.S. hit a record high of natural disasters with a deadly dozen. Fortunately, the La Crosse area didn't add to the number of disasters this year. Keith Butler of the La Crosse Emergency Management Office says in the past, we have.
So there's been quite a few in the last 10, 20 years that have happened around here. But typically the upper Midwest is spared for most of those. Certainly the coastal storms, the hurricanes and things don't cause problems here, but we've seen our fair share of tornadoes, windstorms, hailstorms.
The back-to-back floods hitting Gays Mills in 2007 and 2008 are two examples of national disasters. The tornado that hit in May didn't qualify as a natural disaster, but it was still costly.
But human resources, that can be very taxing on particularly volunteers to respond time after time after time to major events. They get fatigued from all that, and it can be a challenge just to keep people in those roles.
With the total damage for the 12 national disasters cashing in at roughly $52 billion, local officials are keeping a close eye on these last few weeks of the year.
Certainly are concerned about that because we wonder what's going to happen if there's another storm, especially a winter storm. If funds have run out right now, are we even going to be able to provide that kind of assistance to our people and to our communities? And right now it's not known.
Now, we actually did come close to having a national disaster this year. This past May, the Mississippi rose to about 16 feet. Had the river rose just over another foot, that may have caused serious flooding to numerous communities along the Mississippi and could have qualified as a national disaster.
All right, thank you, Pauline. In La Crosse, for a natural disaster to qualify for state and federal funding, the total damage has to be more than $168,000.